Glenna, thank you so
Happy
much.
birthday.
Thank you. If you can't see the cake, it's a cake that says happy birthday, congratulations, Glenis, and it has a picture of the book on the front. And I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Can I say one last thing? Yes. Okay. Okay. I came to Asheville 11 years ago from Greenville, South Carolina. And the 4 people who read before me were the people I grew up with here, poetically. And my life completely altered here in Asheville. And I've been embraced by this community. I have been supported by this community. And I want to thank all of you, wherever you are in your path, I want to thank you for sending your energy to me. And I hope you know it goes back to you. This year has been the hardest year of my life. And I won't go into it, I spare you the details. But one of the things I do know, it has also been one of the most special years of my life. Because every challenge, I mean the challenges have been tough and fierce, but it has made me go deeper within myself, and it's made me become more grateful for every second. I'm not taking anything for granted. And I just want to thank you for this moment in time, your sea of faces, all of you. There's so many. Jamie, Bob Falls, Janice, Suzanne and Bob, my spiritual parents, that's what I call them, who started me on my path from the artist's way 15 years ago. They're here tonight. Malaprops, Emeka deserves a major round of applause. This is the backstory. No one knows that my poetry career started with malaprops, really. I was counseling down in Greenville, South Carolina, and very sick, got sick, and I was at Healthy Connections. It was my last day of my job, and Malaprops was the bookstore. Never been to Asheville, never knew about the bookstore, and I bought the book, The Artist's Way, from Malaprops. And I told my friend, do not let me, it was actually the 6th book I bought that day, and I said, don't let me buy another one, don't let me buy another one. And I bought out The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And that's right, Isaiah, uh-oh, it was like, uh-oh. I got home the next day, and my friend called me, and she said, you know that book you bought, The Artist's Way? Suzanne Abrams, who's here tonight, she said, is teaching that class, and I think you should go take it. I went and took that class for, I think we did 12 weeks every Saturday. And it was Suzanne, because I thought I was going back to be a visual artist, because I had all these images in my head. And like the 3rd or 4th session, we would share our work, and Suzanne looked at me, she said, I think you're a poet. And I said, you think so? And everybody's like, yeah, I think you're a poet. And that's really when my life changed. I left the counseling field and never went back. And Alan Wolfe and Bob Falls are kind of like the second tier of that story, is that I started showing up to Asheville because poetry was happening, and walked into the green door, and they were doing slam poetry. And I was there shaking with my papers, reading poems, and Bob Falls is the man who said, would you like to go on the road and do poetry? And I said, that's why I'm alive. And so I went on the road with Poetry Alive, and then I started slamming with that guy right there, Alan Wolfe. And Patricia Stark, I think, showed up a year later, and then Sebastian came a little bit later on. And Laura was she was in the circle, but then she would like go off to like Washington State and Australia, and I kind of knew her but didn't know her. And then she came back, and then this crazy chemistry started happening. Poetry has truly followed me all the days of my life, and it saved my life. And so I'm really kind of hokey about it and a little crazy about it, but you know, some of you guys can tell of the things that have kept me are the things that are really unseen. And that's what I trust in the most. And if you don't mind, I would love to end with a poem from my grandmother who's making her journey. And you guys, many of you have heard this poem before, but she's making, you guys know that she'll be 108 if she makes it to November 7th. But I don't, we don't, we don't, we don't think she's going to make it to November 7th. But then again, I have said that for what, 10 years? Celeste says, Mom, you say that every year. But really now, you guys, her soul is really, you know what I mean? It's really diminished. I mean, I get sad when I see her now. But so I would love to end this celebration. I hope that you guys will support Main Street Rag, support Malaprop, support me under the sun as you have all these years.